All right, first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Before we get into specific topics and issues, you just finished your 16-year run in Congress. You're running for mayor. You made that official the other day. Why do you want to go back to town hall and become mayor of this community once again?
Well, look, this is coming home. You know, I've been here since I went to elementary school. And when I left, there were a few projects that I didn't get a chance to build. And I'm coming back to finish some of those projects. You know, I'm talking about the media center, the library. I'm talking about parks on the waterfront, one of the piers that I wanted to do that. I'm talking about creating more parking, more affordable housing. I was the last guy to ever build affordable housing here, including multiple sites and including a senior citizen affordable housing on 62nd Street. I'm looking to build affordable housing for veterans. We have nothing in this town for veterans. So there are a lot of veterans out there that need housing, and I'm looking to be able to do that. And obviously education is important. The school is important. When I left, I had the money for the school, I had the site, I had the plans, but the administration that followed me decided that they didn't want to build school. They took the money someplace else. That school is important, especially for the children of West New York. Children of West New York should have the best that we can give them when they go to school.
Okay, so let's break these down and talk about the specific topics. You brought up affordable housing, you brought up veterans housing. Talk about what plans you have, what you would like to specifically see with regard to affordable housing, and as you just mentioned, housing for veterans, which you say doesn't exist in the community at the present time.
Well, look, we built a nonprofit corporation attached to the Housing Authority in West New York. And we use tax credits to build this affordable housing. We built multiple sites. What that means is 3 different sites. And the senior citizen building that we built was also built with tax credit money. So I intend to do this, follow the same plan. Obviously, it's very difficult to get money to build affordable housing, but we were able to secure through tax credits to be able to build those buildings.
Do you have locations already set in your mind?
I have a few locations already set in my mind.
Are you willing to give us any indications as to where they might be?
We're working on them. See, what happens is believe it or not, there are 55 buildings in this town that are abandoned, basically, which is an awful lot of buildings. So we are going to look at some of those sites and use our eminent domain to build affordable housing.
Okay, one of the other things that you've talked about in the press pertains to the media center that you want to create on Bergen Line Avenue. You've basically said that the public library across the street on 60th from Town Hall is basically run down. It's not handicapped accessible. It's basically a shambles. How would the new center on Bergen Line, where would the money come from? Where would you like to see it go? How important is that to the community?
Well, we already have money from the state to purchase the property. Now we're in the process now, see if, to purchase it. But the state, they do give you money for public libraries. So I intend to be very aggressive and use my contacts in the state to make sure that we get money to build the media center. Plus my contacts in Washington are also going to help.
One of the other things you've talked about is the need for a new school in town. Are we talking elementary level? Are we talking an additional middle school? Are we talking a second high school?
I think that's going to be determined by the Board of Education and the needs that the Board of Education has. We will sit with them and we will talk to them and figure out the needs that they have, and we will build according to the needs of the Board of Ed.
Do you consider the school district right now in an overcrowded situation?
Yes, we have a lot of students coming in. I don't think people realize, but all those people crossing the border and things like that, a lot of them wind up here with children. and they're registering more and more kids in the school district.
Is this a site that would be down on the waterfront with the continued growth down there, or would it be up above on the Palisades somewhere?
No,
with the
this site is already, the state owns the site. It's on 64th Street and Broadway.
Okay.
The city doesn't own it. Okay? The state owns the site. And they just approved the school. Now we have to go after the state for the money. But they always had there. They never did anything after I left. Nobody did anything after I left, which we needed. I'm talking a while back now.
Speaking of the waterfront, you've talked about the need with the growth down there, getting some more open space, some more park space down there. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, there's a pier there that is basically there, is dirt pier. Obviously has to be secured, the bunk beds. I already, on this past budget in Congress, we received $2.2 million already to start the preliminary planning for this pier. I think the people in the waterfront deserve a park where they can take their children. I mean, every other town around the waterfront has a pier park. Basically, we don't have one. Hoboken has some beautiful ones. Jersey City has some. So I want West New York to have our own. Weehawken has theirs. And we have the pier there. It's not as if we have to build a new pier.
Since you've left office as mayor in that 16-year period, has West New York become less safe? Is West New York safe in your opinion?
Well, look, West New York can always be safer. I intend to, try to put as many people on the street as possible like I did last time. We made West New York safer when I became mayor. So we're going to make sure that West New York continues to be safer.
Jobs are always a big issue in any municipality, in any urban area. What plans do you have at this point for creating jobs within the community? And do you feel that not enough has been done in the last decade and a half along those lines?
Well, look, this is a community that has 1 square mile and it's got 53,000 people. Okay? Most of the people work outside the town. This is not a town that has a lot of factories. It's not a town that you can bring a lot of manufacturing and things like that. So we're going to have to do more in terms of the local businesses on Burger Line Avenue, hiring people, and that will probably be one of the pushes that we would be doing.
Have you found that since the pandemic, since COVID, a lot of mom and pop stores in all communities had to shut down? Yes. Just because of the situation? Have you found that it's been slow to try and get some of those vacant retail establishments back up and running in the last several years? I mean, we're still experiencing, COVID to some extent at this point, but has it been slow to get revitalization back to Bergen Line and to other retail spots in town?
Jeff, West New York is no different than any other community around here. They were hit hard by COVID. Everybody was hit hard by COVID. The problem of some of these people, as they say to me, is trying to get people back into the work. And that's been very difficult for some people. So, and it's very difficult after 2 years with COVID, and some of these people had to close their businesses, to start all over again. It's not easy. So we will do whatever we can to bring some of those businesses back in town.
You just officially announced your candidacy the other day, although it had been rumored for quite some time. When will you, if not right now, for us, when will you announce who your 4 running mates for the other commission seats will be? What is going to be the status of incumbent commissioners Barrera and Yanez? Are they going to be part of the ticket that you're going to name, and when will you name? those
I will name the
candidates?
ticket on the 27th of this month. We have a fundraiser at Briarcliff and Graycliff, and we will have the announcement there. I'm hoping to get the governor there.
Is there any possibility you could give me any type of an indication as to who might be on that ticket?
No, but it'll be a nice combination of all the people in different factions in town included.
No huge surprises. Everybody will know these people when they're announced.
Probably. Probably. One thing that I'll tell you is this. Usually on my slates, we have everybody represented. So there'll be a representation of the Republican Party on that ticket.
Okay. It appears as if this is going to be a three-headed race for mayor. I interviewed Dr. Roque the other day. He didn't commit, but he's making his announcement on the 19th. And from what I was able to gather from that interview, he's probably going to throw his hat in. He did say to me that he wants the competition. He wants to face you. He says, I need the challenge. You're the challenge. What's your reaction to that? And
well, my reaction to that is this is not a challenge. This is the team that can do the best for the people of West New York. That's the challenge, not between him and I. There's no challenge between him and I. Besides, I thought he was going to run for president in Cuba. He's been telling everybody that he's going to run for president in Cuba. So, my challenge is try to bring back West New York to the best it can be. Improve quality of life, improve parking, improve education, improve, fighting crime. That's the challenge, not between him and I.
The other candidate being current Commissioner Cosmo Cirillo. How much of a challenge, how much of a threat? I mean, you have the backing of the Hudson County Democratic Organization. How much of a challenge do you see coming from his camp? He's announced two of his running mates. The other two have not been announced yet. Obviously, current Commissioner Guzman and outgoing Assemblywoman Jimenez are with him. What type of a challenge do you see coming from that side?
Any challenge is a challenge. So I will take it very seriously, and I will work very hard, and we'll see what happens on May.
Is this going to be the typical putting the feet to the fire, going door to door, hitting the streets, campaigning over the next 4.5 to 5 month period leading up to the May election? Is that how you're going to go about this?
Jeff, I've been doing that since I first started. I knock on the doors, I introduce myself, and if they have any questions, I answer them, and I ask them to help us by voting for us. So we will do the same thing. This is a type of campaign that I always ran. I ran as if I was losing, and I intend to do the same thing. I intend to work very hard. I've been very surprised at the support that the people in town have given me so far. People are encouraging me to run. Every time I go someplace, oh, it's great that you're coming back. It's great that you're coming back. So I'm very encouraged by that.
How much more of an advantage do you feel that you have given your experience? You were a mayor, you were the assembly person and the assembly speaker in the state legislature, and then 16 years in Congress. Your other two opponents have got elected experience as well. If Roque enters the race, a two-term mayor, and Cosmo being an elected commissioner in town, I believe, since 2016 or 15. So he's got that experience. He's the administrator in a neighboring municipality of Guttenberg. He worked for Assemblywoman Jimenez in her office, so he's got that experience in Drenton. How much more experience do you feel that you have, given your resume, than they might have?
Well, look, there's no substitute for experience. I've been through just about everything. And I was always able to produce for the town of West New York. Like you said, I was a mayor for 12 years. I was an assemblyman and speaker. I was a congressman. I put budgets together for the state of New Jersey, for the municipal, for the state, and the nation. That experience counts for something. And I know, because I lived here, I went to grammar school here. I taught in the school district. I was a mayor here. You know, even when I was in Washington, I was living here. So, you know, I love Western New York, and that's the reason I'm running. I want to make it better. I don't want to make it a challenge between a doctor and me. You know, Constable decided to run, more power to him. But I am running to make West New York better, not to challenge anybody.
Any topics you want to throw out?
Well, you pretty much solved that question.
You're gonna give him a break.
That's why you pay me.
But it's okay.
Final question for you then. Obviously, you love this town. You know, you came here, you know, from Cuba, very young, didn't speak English, went on to, you know, learn the language, went to Memorial High School, was a star basketball player.
I taught at Memorial High School.
And taught at
for 10
Memorial
years.
High School. I mean, you've run the gamut. How much, when you wake up, and now that you don't have to deal with going down and being a member of the House of Representatives, it's been a week or so, how much, when you wake up in the morning, how much energy do you get knowing that I'm running for mayor again, I want to lead this community again? How psyched are you when you wake up in the morning to do this campaign to regain that chair in town hall?
I am psyched because I'm home. That's why I'm psyched. This is home for me, West New York. And then I'm gonna run to make West New York better. I don't have to go to Washington again. I did it for 16 years. I thought I did a good job in Washington. I represented the district well. And, you know, I want to come back and do the things that I want to finish, the things that I wasn't able to accomplish in the 12 years that I was here. So that's important to me. And in the morning I wake up and I say, when I see what's going on in Washington today, I just say, thank God I'm not there. Because it really is it's a shame what's happened to the House in this nation.
You didn't want to take 17 votes for the speaker over a 3 or 4 day period?
For 3 days and plus 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we were there plenty of times from 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing the budget. Remember, I was on the budget committee in Washington. I was on the transportation committee. I was on the foreign affairs committee. So, I mean, that experience counts for an awful lot when you come to a town like West New York. This is not an easy town to govern. You know, it's a very populated town in a very small space. But the people are great. I love the people here. I mean, I'm able to go here, have Colombian food. I'm here, go to Peruvian food. I'm here, get Cuban food. I'm here talking to, I mean, it's just, I'm home. I love it. I go on the street, people say, Albio. They don't even call me mayor or anything. This town, everybody knows me by Albio. So, you know, that's important to me. I'm a people person. I've never been one of these guys that